Good afternoon. This is Tracy Dean. Again, this is Professor Dean coming to you live. And today's episode will be Chapter 17, Vocabulary Words. Again, it's Chapter 17, Vocabulary Words. The words are behave, excessive, expert, fierce, investigate, joint, migrate, outcome, roar, and track. Again, the words are behave. How do we spell the word behave? B-E-H-A-V-E. Behave. Behave. B-E-H-A-V-E. The next word is excessive. Excessive. E-X-C-E-S-S-I-V-E. Excessive. The next word is excessive. E-X-C-E-S-S-I-V-E. The next word is expert. E-X-P-E-R-T. Expert. The next word is expert. E-X-P-E-R-T. Expert. The next word is fierce. F-I-E-R-C-E. Fierce. The next word is fierce. F-I-E-R-C-E. Fierce. The next word is investigate. I-N-V-E-S-T-I-G-A-T-E. Again, investigate. I-N-V-E-S-T-I-G-A-T-E. Investigate. The next word is joint. J-O-I-N-T. Joint. The next word is joint. J-O-I-N-T. Joint. The next word is migrate. M-I-G-R-A-T-E. Migrate. The next word is migrate. M-I-G-R-A-T-E. Migrate. The next word is outcome. O-U-T-C-O-M-E. Outcome. O-U-T-C-O-M-E. Outcome. Roar. The next word is roar. R-O-A-R. Roar. The next word is track. T-R-A-C-K. Track. So our vocab words are behave, excessive, expert, fierce, investigate, joint, migrate, outcome, roar, and track. So we're going to use behave in terms of what does the word behave mean? Behave means to do things in a particular way. Again, behave means to do things in a particular way. Now let's look at the word excessive. And while we're looking up these words, remember you can stop at any time, look it up in Google, right? You can just look in Google and you will see the dictionary word excessive. So excessive means what? What does it mean to us? Excessive means more than is necessary. More than is necessary. Or you could say much more than is necessary. Now let's look at the word expert. When we say you're an expert, is that you have special knowledge or skill. Again, expert means special knowledge or skill. So when you're an expert and you have special knowledge or skill, it also means that someone has a comprehensive knowledge. They have a lot of knowledge or skill in a particular area. For example, you could become a financial expert. You could become a scientist. You're an expert in that area. That means you have knowledge of that area. Now let's look at the next word, fierce. F-I-E-R-C-E, fierce. Fierce is strong and violent. Again, fierce is strong and violent. F-I-E-R-C-E is fierce, and that is strong or violent. If you type it up in Google, you would see having or displaying an intense or ferocious aggressiveness. But it just means violent, okay? For example, we have violent weather coming up. We have stormy weather coming up in terms of hurricane. Now let's look at investigate. Investigate means to look into. Investigate means to look into. Or it could mean to study carefully. Investigate could mean to study carefully. So when you look that up in Google and you look up investigate, it says to carry out systematic or formal inquiry to discover and examine the facts. So when you look into Google, it shows you it's a verb and it means to carry out systematic or formal inquiry to discover and examine the facts. Let's look at the next word, joint. Joint. Joint means involving two or more people. Again, the word joint means involving two or more people. So that is the word joint, involving two or more people. And joint has many different words, meaning rather, so it could mean parts of a body. Joint could mean parts of the body. So joint also means involving two or more people, or it could be united. United means together. Now let's look at the next word, migrate. Migrate. What does the word migrate mean? It means to move with the seasons. Again, migrate is different from immigrate, is different from emigrate. Migrate means to move with the seasons. For example, if you watch this little show they call Ice Age, it could show you that they were moving from winter to summer. They were traveling, right? So migrate means to move within seasons. And what migrates? We could talk about animals or birds that migrate. We could talk about, animals or birds migrate. People migrate or move. Canadians move from Canada to USA when it becomes too cold, right? So they move from one place to another. Let's look at the word outcome. Outcome. Outcome is the final result. Outcome is the final result. And going back to migrate, if you look it up in Google, it says of an animal, typically a bird or fish, move from one region or habitat to another. So let's look at the word outcome. Outcome is the final result. Outcome again is the final result. When you look that up in Google, it says the way a thing turns out a consequence. The way a thing turns out a consequence. Let's look at the word roar. Roar. Roar means to speak, to make a deep, very loud noise. Again, roar means to make a deep, very loud noise. Now, let's look that up in Google. That is going to have more than one meaning. So, when you look up it in Google, the first thing you see is a little song about Roar by Katy Perry. But that's not what I want you to find. I want you to find the meaning of the word roar in Google and look for, sometimes you have to add the word dictionary, right? Or you have to add the word meaning to find it in Google. So roar is a deep, prolonged cry uttered by a lion or other large wild animal. Now let's look at the word track. Track. So when we look at the word track, what does that mean? And that word has more than one meaning also. Track is a rough path or minor road. Track is also a mark or lines left by a person or vehicle passing. And when they say you need to track something in Amazon, that means you need to follow it. Okay? Now, what does track mean in this sense? It means a path. A path. So those are the words and their meaning. Those are the words behave, excessive, expert, fierce, investigate, joint, migrate, outcome, roar, and track. So let's talk about using them in a sentence. Karen behaves in a different way when she is at church. Karen behaves in a different way when she is at church. Let's look at the word excessive. Excessive. Well, we have excessive amount of food. We have an excessive amount of food at the party. Excessive, a lot of. Expert. The teacher is an expert on Brazilian art. The teacher is an expert on Brazilian art. I am an expert in teaching. I am an expert in teaching. Fierce. The lion is a fierce animal. The lion is a fierce animal. The storm has fierce wind. The storm has fierce wind. Investigate means to look into. The police investigate the accident. The police investigate the accident. Joint. I am working on a joint project with my teacher. I am working on a joint project with my teacher. We are joined at the hip. We are joined at the hip. We are joined ears with the master. We are joined ears with the master as we travel along. Let's continue. Migrate. Every spring, the birds migrate to another state. Every spring, the birds migrate to another state. Outcome. Let us hear the outcome of the election on November 4th. Let us hear the outcome of the election on November 4th. Roar. The lions roar. The lions roar every day. The lions roar every day. Track. Your footprints created a track in the class. Your footprints created a track in the class. So this is what we did on the words, and we did their meanings, and we also use them in a sentence. We also use them in a sentence. So I want you to look up these words in the dictionary. Words like behave, joint, and track have more than one meaning. Behave, joint, and track have more than one meaning. So when we talk about the word behave, we could be talking about the way behave to do or say things in a particular way. Behave also means to be polite and not cause trouble. Joint means involving two or more people, and joint also means a part of the body. Track means a path, and track also means to follow the movements of a person, airplane, ship, or like we say when we say track in terms of follow, they say track your things on Amazon. Also, we talk about railroad tracks, race tracks. Those are different kinds of tracks. Now, we also can look at what is the outcome. Outcome means the final result of something. Outcome can mean the final result of something. So, Those words are the same words, but they have different meaning: behave, join, and track. Now, the outcome almost always means the final result. Outcome always means the final result. So what will be the outcome of this exercise? Right? The way things turn out is also called the outcome. So those are the words and their meanings for number 17. Number 17. And what I want you to do, I want you to practice using these words in a sentence. And my class, I want you to do what? Send me back via WhatsApp, via email, sentences using these words. So let's look at these same words again, but look at the parts of speech. So behave can be a verb. The word behave is a verb. What is excessive? What part of speech? That is an adjective, right? So excessive is an adjective. Expert. Expert is a noun. Expert is a noun. What is fierce? Fierce is an adjective. Fierce is an adjective. Investigate. Investigate is a verb. Investigate is a verb. Joined is a adjective. Joined is an adjective. Migrate is a verb. Migrate is a verb. Outcome is a noun. Outcome is a noun. Roar is a verb. Roar is a verb. Track is a noun. Track is a noun. And remember, words like the words I gave you, and I gave you the parts of speech. Now, I need to also tell you that behave can also be a noun and a verb. I want you to look up excessive, fierce, investigate, migrate, and roar, because they may be more than one part of speech. So if we look up the word excessive, again in the dictionary, what part of speech do we see? We see that excessive is an adjective. Right? We see excessive is a adjective. Now, let's look at the word excessively. Excessively is an adverb. Right? Excessively is an adverb. Let's look at the root word excess. Excess. Excess is a noun. Now, the word fierce. So I'm looking up the word fierce in Google. And what is the word fierce? Fierce is an adjective. Now, if I say fiercely, what is that? Fiercely is an adverb. Now, let's look at the word investigate. Investigate. So we look it up in Google and we see the word investigate is a verb. Now, if we do the word investigation, what do we get? Investigation is a noun. Let's look at the word migrate. Migrate in the Google. M-I-G-R-A-T-E. Migrate is a verb. Now let's look at the word migration. What is migration in Google? That is a noun. So I know I didn't spell it true while we were doing these words, but I want to make sure we understand what we do when we're looking up words in Google. We do behave, B-E-H-A-V-E. behavior, behavior. And we look at the parts of speech for both behave and behavior. Behave is a verb. Behavior is a noun. So let's look at again excessive. We type CESSIVE. And we look up the word, it's an adjective. So we can look up all these words in the Google and see the parts of speech. So look them all up in Google, see the parts of speech: excessive, excessively, excess. Right? And how do we spell excessively? EXCESSIVELY. Excessively. Now, let's look at the next word. And what is excessively? An adverb. How do we see the next word? We do excess, EXCESS. And what part of speech is that? That's a noun. Everybody understands? Now, I want you to do the word fierce, FIERCE. FIERCE. Look it up in Google. Write down the parts of speech. Fiercely, FIERCELY. Again, FIERCELY. Fiercely. Then I want you to do investigate, INVESTIGATE. Look up the parts of speech. Investigation, INVESTIGATION. Investigation. Migrate, MIGRATE. Migrate. Look up the parts of speech in Google. Migration, MIGRATION. Migration. Roar, ROAR. And then I want to look up roared, ROARED. Thank you again for listening, my students. And I also want you to use these words in the sentences. You can look on vocab.com for these words. Go on to vocab.com and you will see that I have chapter 17 words typed up. Also, I have on Kahoot. You can go into Kahoot and play the games on chapter 17. Behave, excessive, expert, fierce, investigate, joint, migrate, outcome, roar, and track. Have a superb afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Again, this is Teacher Dean coming to you live from Advanced ESOL class and Apostolic Radio Ministries International.